Tonight, we embark on a journey to uncover a story that is actively reshaping North America's economic landscape in ways few could have predicted just a decade ago. Imagine a powerful current, capital, innovation, and jobs flowing northward, crossing borders and transforming communities along the way. American companies, both large and small, are moving operations and top talent to Canada in unprecedented numbers, seeking new opportunities and stability. This is more than a passing trend. It's a seismic shift with far-reaching global implications that could redefine the future of work and investment. What's driving this exodus? And what does it mean for families, workers, and businesses on both sides of the border? For decades, the United States was the undisputed economic leader, a beacon for global business. But now that narrative is being seriously challenged. The migration of U.S. firms to Canada signals growing confidence in one nation's future and rising uncertainty in another, shifting the balance of economic power. Picture a dramatic time lapse. American industrial parks gradually dim, while Canadian cities ignite with new offices, factories, and a renewed sense of purpose. This isn't just about tech startups. It's established manufacturers, cutting-edge AI developers, and green energy giants all making the move. Understanding this shift is critical. It impacts jobs, currency, family finances, and ultimately, the future we all inherit. Tonight, we dive deep into the data, the decisions, and the far-reaching consequences of this unfolding story, revealing what it means for the next generation.
The US and Canada have long shared what is often called the world's most successful business relationship, built on trust, proximity, and mutual benefit. For over a century, these two nations have been each other's top trading partners, with their economies deeply intertwined through trade, investment, and shared industries. The auto industry is a prime example. Supply chains cross the border multiple times before a car is built, with parts and expertise flowing seamlessly in both directions. Landmark trade agreements like NAFTA and later the USMCA created a massive integrated market, making it easier for goods, services, and people to move across the border. Traditionally, the US was seen as the senior partner, with Canadian firms looking south for growth, opportunity, and access to a much larger market. But the 21st century brought new complexities. Tighter borders, unpredictable trade policies, and political friction have made cross-border business more challenging than ever before. Business leaders, seeking stability and certainty, began to hedge their bets, diversifying their operations and looking for safer environments. The US is no longer seen as the unshakable center of North American commerce, as economic and political uncertainty has grown. Meanwhile, Canada has built a reputation for political stability, clear immigration policy, and steady economic development, making it increasingly attractive to investors. The flow of investment north is accelerating, driven by unease about America's future and a desire for a more predictable business environment. This context is key to understanding today's migration of US firms as they seek new opportunities and greater security across the border in Canada.
The northward shift is backed by striking data. Since 2022, American firms relocating to Canada have surged by over 45%. In 2024 alone, $25 billion in direct US investment flowed into Canada, a record high. The movement spans tech, manufacturing, and green energy. Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal are now major hubs for US tech giants. 60% of US tech firms expanding internationally chose Canada as their primary destination. Manufacturing, especially in green energy and EVs, is also moving north. Canada's global talent stream has seen a 75% jump in applications from US-based professionals. This brain drain worries American business leaders who are losing both companies and top talent. The Canadian dollar is strong, and venture capital for Canadian startups is at record highs. Capital, companies, and talent are all moving north. The numbers tell a clear story. The economic map is being redrawn.
What's behind this dramatic shift? It's a mix of push and pull factors. In the US, political polarization and regulatory uncertainty make long-term planning difficult. Restrictive immigration policies have created a talent bottleneck, frustrating companies that need global expertise. Canada, meanwhile, offers a fast, predictable immigration system and a welcoming environment for skilled workers. Universal healthcare reduces costs for employers, and lower corporate taxes plus R&D credits sweeten the deal. Canadian cities are becoming diverse, cosmopolitan innovation hubs. The financial case for moving north is compelling: stability, talent, and cost savings. For many U.S. firms, Canada's package is too good to ignore. The result? A virtuous cycle of investment and growth in Canada. The exodus is accelerating as companies seek certainty and opportunity.
To truly understand this growing trend, we reached out to the people who are living through it every day, those making the tough decisions, and those feeling the impact firsthand. Sarah Chen, CEO of a fast-growing AI startup, recently moved her company's headquarters from Austin to Toronto. She told us, "In Canada, we secured permanent residency for key staff in under a year. The stability is priceless." For her, the move wasn't just about business incentives, but about building a future where her team could thrive without uncertainty. At a newly opened battery plant in Ontario, a former Ohio plant manager shared, "Here, government policy is aligned and long-term. That's what billion-dollar investments need." He emphasized that clear, consistent support from local authorities made all the difference in choosing where to build. Emily, a software developer, left San Francisco for Vancouver. She explained, "I have a better work-life balance, affordable housing, and don't worry about losing health insurance." For her, the move meant less stress and more time for family and personal growth. Many of her former colleagues are making the same move, drawn by the promise of a more sustainable lifestyle and a sense of security that's hard to find elsewhere. But not everyone benefits from these changes. A Michigan union leader told us, "We're losing good jobs and a piece of our community. The government needs to do more." For many, the shift means uncertainty and a struggle to adapt. The economic shift brings new opportunities for some, but real pain and disruption for others, deepening the divide between regions and industries. For executives, it's about stability, growth, and the chance to innovate in a supportive environment. For workers left behind, it's a loss of security, identity, and the sense of belonging that comes from steady work. The human cost is real, affecting families, friendships, and entire communities. The debate over these changes is far from settled. These voices reveal the complexity and nuance of this economic migration, showing that there are no easy answers. The choices made by companies ripple through families and communities, shaping futures in ways that numbers alone can't capture. In the end, the story is deeply personal, not just economic, a reminder that behind every statistic is a life in transition.
The departure of firms is a growing economic headwind, for the U.S. job losses ripple through local economies, hurting suppliers, small businesses, and communities. The erosion of the corporate tax base squeezes public services and deepens fiscal challenges. As R&D and talent move north, America's innovation ecosystem frays. The brain drain threatens the nation's ability to lead in technology and science. Social consequences follow: unemployment, declining property values, and rising unrest. The American dream feels out of reach in hollowed-out communities. This is more than an economic issue. It's a social crisis at the heart of the nation.
While the U.S. faces challenges, Canada is booming. Investment and talent are fueling construction, new jobs, and urban transformation. Toronto and Vancouver are now global tech and finance hubs, rivaling New York and Silicon Valley. Smaller cities and manufacturing towns are also seeing revitalization, especially in EVs and green tech. The influx of skilled immigrants is making Canada more diverse and innovative. This diversity drives creativity and economic resilience. But rapid growth brings challenges, especially a housing affordability crisis in major cities. Policymakers must invest in housing and infrastructure to ensure growth benefits everyone. Canada's success depends on managing these pressures wisely. The country's high quality of life is both its strength and its challenge.
Dr. Alistair Finch, a leading economist, sees this as a fundamental rebalancing. For decades, the US enjoyed unrivaled advantages. Now, that stability premium is eroding. Canada has built a brand around predictability, rule of law, and competent government. Its strategic immigration and energy policies, plus universal healthcare, attract global capital. The US must restore its fundamentals: stable politics, smart immigration, and infrastructure investment. Competing for investment is now essential, not automatic. Canada's success isn't guaranteed. Housing and overdependence on the US are risks. Both nations remain deeply connected. One's downturn affects the other. For the first time, Canada is helping to row the North American economic boat. The future is a more balanced partnership, but the transition will be painful for many Americans. The challenge is to adapt, not retreat. The outcome will shape the continent for decades.
The evidence is clear. American firms are moving north, seeking stability and opportunity. This is a market verdict on which environment fosters growth and innovation. For Canada, it's a chance to build a dynamic, diversified economy. But rapid growth must be managed wisely. For the US, it's a wake-up call. Jobs, innovation, and prosperity are at stake. The solution isn't protectionism, but reform, restoring stability, welcoming talent, and investing in the future. This is a call to action for leaders and citizens alike. The choices we make now will determine our economic destiny. The future of American prosperity hangs in the balance.